Dynamic access control. Revolutionary is pretty much the only word I can think for it. Let's think of a little case where a small company with offices locations, USA, EMEA, and APAC. This is about how we manage access to our file servers. For the next 20 minutes, we're going to talk about how you control access, how you manage permissions. And trust me, I'm going to try to change the whole perspective for you. Now, we're a small company with 3 locations, EMEA, APAC, and HR, and we have 3 offices, 3 divisions in every location, HR, sales, and marketing. Everyone has their own folder. How do you control access to these folders? You create what? What are you going to create an Active Directory in a great abundance to control access to resources? Groups. Love them. How many of you, and pretty much just be prepared to raise a hand now, how many of you have more groups in their environment than users? How many of you really believe you need all of them? Now there's no hands. See, I control you. I know when you're going to answer because this is a typical story. Another typical story is that you have thousands of groups and they're nested one in the other, resulting in what? And that's $1 million question. Kerberos token bloat was the correct one. So your Kerberos token becomes very, very large, and you sometimes start to see authentication errors. Right, so what kind of groups are we looking at? So we got USA HR, USA Sales, USA Marketing, EMEA HR, EMEA Sales, blah, blah, blah. Plus we can sometimes even split them to USA HR Read, USA HR Modify. And remember the scheme that we were offering since Windows 2000 of how we control access to resources. I was never able to memorize it. Resource, domain, local, global, universal. You remember how Microsoft was suggesting to nest those groups one into the other? Yeah, try giving that suggestion to somebody right now. They would just scream at you. Because at the time, in Windows in 2000, we didn't have 5,000 servers and 5,000 different departments and groups. Servers were something like, ooh, we got a server. That's cool. Windows 2000, the initial configuration wizard was actually prompting you, is this the only server in your environment, or you have more than one? Which was kind of odd. And you can review that wizard. In the very beginning, that was the first question the operating system asked you. Nowadays, the systems are so much bigger that the structures become so much more complex. We need a better way to manage all of that. Now, for users, groups are a mess. For admins, this is a nightmare. Now, let me show you how 2012 can change this without pretty much no prerequisites. Well, the only thing you're going to need is the Server 2012 file server, nothing else. Hate the slides, I'll jump into a demo. Member server, I don't have it open. This is my file server where I'm going to be performing all of my tests. So I want to create a share. I have a folder here. I'm going to create a folder F1. And I'm going to, notepad. So F1, I want to say only EMEA IT users should have access. Right? So how do I do this? I need to have EMEA _ IT group for what you're thinking right now, right? Let me show you how it's done in 2012. Security, advanced. So far, only system administrators and creator owner have access. I've reset the standard permissions. I've removed everybody from access. I only allow system administrators and creator owner to have access to the folder. How is this? Be prepared to go, wow. Allow authenticated users modify access. That doesn't look right for so far, does it? If they match a certain condition. Of IT and EMEA. So users, all authenticated users, get modify access to this folder if they match this condition. And this is the new thing in 2012, condition-based access. And we're going to build on top of that later on. User, group, member of each of these two. Oh, come on. EMEA and IT. Only if he's a member of these two groups at the same time, he's going to have access. If he's only a member of one, no good. Cool? No? Boring? Good. Okay. Okay. I wonder if we can test this. EMEA and IT, I've said. Okay, let's go back to our domain control and just check my users. I've got a test user here. He's a member of EMEA IT. So test user 1 is a member of EMEA IT. Test user 2 is a member of APAC IT. So let's try to log on as test user 2 and see if he's got access to the folder. Before doing that, I just want to first check access to this folder altogether. Security, yeah, nobody has access to it. I'm just going to add. Give me a sec. Select users access to this folder only. So all users get access to the parent folder, to the C demo folders. I didn't specify that while preparing to my demo, sorry. Now, jumping to the client, there we are. Logging in as test user 2. Remember, test user 2, APAC and IT. So he's a member of one of the required groups, but not of the both required groups. I tried this before, so it may fail. Works here. F1, no love. Because I'm just a member of one group when I have to be a member of two groups. So I'm going to go and I'm going to switch to test user 1, who's a member of both of the groups that I need. This is still not dynamic access control. And here we go, we got access to the folder. Now this is not dynamic access control. This is just conditional based access to a folder. And we can define a number of these conditions. We've so far just defined one, but we can go and define multiple. Go to member, I'm just going to mess around the folder F1 that we got here. Security, advanced, authenticated users. So there's our condition if a user is a member of these two groups. Or users are something else. Okay, we're going to allow US IT access as well because they're US. So now, if we are a member of EMEA IT, or if we are anywhere in States, we got access. But I don't want to allow US marketing access to this. I want to exclude them. USA, I think I got sales. I didn't create marketing. So, if I'm a member of EMEA IT, allow access. If I'm anywhere in States, allow access. If I'm in US sales, no love. Okay?
And based on computer group membership?
Good question. No, sorry. Great question. We'll get to, I always confuse them. I forgot that I did this demo like 10 times and I learned the answers to all of the questions by now. So computer group, no. But wait a little bit and I'll explain you how you can do it. So these are groups so far. Prerequisites for that, Windows XP as a client, Windows 2012 as a file server, pretty much any Windows domain controller. Minimal prereqs. You just have one 2012 file server and you can do this on your file shares. This is stored in the ACLs. If you now go into PowerShell, demo folders, get ACL for F1, and then just format it as a list. How many of you know how to read SDDL? That's a good question for 4 o'clock, come on. But you can see here already, see that member of this SID, and then this SID, and there's some Boolean logic encoded in here as well. So this is stored, all of the conditions that we were specifying, this is all stored in the ACL of the folder. Now, group membership, boring. Because we still need to create a lot of groups and we need to manage those groups. Right? This is not something we want to do. Imagine, what is a group membership eventually? Where do we store your group membership? Where in Active Directory we store your group membership? What attribute? Does anybody know? John? Group member, come on, you know. There's an attribute called member of, which says in which groups you're a member of. And based on that attribute, roughly, we build your access permissions. Interesting question. Can we use other Active Directory attributes to control your access to resources? Yeah, we can. We can use any attribute in Active Directory to control access to resources. What about your department? Active Directory has an attribute called department. Again, this is pre-created, but we're going to get into that. So this is IT folder. Security, advanced, authenticated users have modify access to it if users department equals IT. Not their group membership, their department attribute in Active Directory. Which other operating system offers you that? I don't think about some side products that allow this, but come on. Using Active Directory attributes to control access to resources? Good. This already is called dynamic access control. So how does that now work? Why can we use user's department attribute? And if we go and we look at the test user 1, he's actually a member of the IT department in Active Directory. We can use that attribute to control access to this folder. Now this works via technology better known as claims.